As spring sunlight fractures across the limestone ridges, the Roman vanguard advances with measured precision. Heavy sandals kick up fine dust while iron-tipped spears rest firmly in calloused hands. Each disciplined step echoes across the barren earth. A steady heart along the jagged northern ramparts. A final stand takes shape. Weathered cloaks snap in the dry breeze as defenders grip wooden javelins with white-knuckled resolve. Golden hour light washes over determined faces, capturing every subtle breath as they hold their ground against the approaching storm of iron. Beyond the third wall, summer heat shimmers over a massive torsion engine. Mature operators lean into heavy bronze levers, muscles tensing as iron bolts slide into deep grooves. With a synchronized shudder, the wooden frames release their payload, a calculated display of engineered. Within the sacred courtyards, summer sunlight catches polished bronze shields. Levitical guards march through towering colonnades, heavy linen tunics rustling with each synchronized step. Short swords rest firmly at their sides as quiet authority radiates through the vast. Across the dry wadi flanking the western approach, late summer winds sweep through polished scale armor. Auxiliary horsemen execute a sweeping flanking maneuver, rhythmic hoof strikes striking the cracked earth. Eyes locked on the distant gates, they advance as autumn twilight deepens through shadowed upper city corridors. Lean operatives move with fluid precision. Dark wool cloaks blend seamlessly with the fading light, while curved daggers rest firmly in waiting hands. A silent storm of coordinated strikes cuts through the quiet streets. Beneath the crumbling foundations of the Antonia Fortress, mid-autumn darkness swallows the narrow tunnels. Roman sappers push forward through earthen passages, calloused hands gripping iron picks with steady purpose. Volumetric light filters through ventilation shafts, casting long shadows as they carve deeper toward the enemy wall. Late autumn warmth spills through high-arched windows into the grand Herodian palace halls. Polished cuirasses gleam as guards march forward, torch flames casting flickering light across intricate stone carvings. With synchronized precision, they shift their weight and push open the massive iron-bound gates to the waiting ranks. Early winter frost clings to the shattered masonry of the Antonia Tower gateway. Broad-shouldered legionaries charge through the crumbling archway, muscles coiled with controlled aggression. Iron gladi are gripped firmly as they tear through the ancient defenses, a disciplined wave of steel and leather shattering. Through the narrow colonnaded streets of the lower city, midwinter shadows stretch across cracked pavement. Jewish militia stand shoulder to shoulder behind makeshift barricades, weathered linen tunics stained with dust. White-knuckled grips tighten on wooden spears as they maintain a late winter sunlight bathes the elevated terraces above the temple precincts. Roman archers position themselves along stone parapets, heavy wooden bows drawn in perfect synchronization. Clear skies frame their disciplined volley as arrows scream toward enemy positions, a calculated display. In the final days of the siege, charred colonnades of the sacred porticos echo with solemn footsteps. Jewish elders and scholars move through the dimming light, heavy wool cloaks draped over their shoulders. Each survivor clutches a bronze vessel with reverent care, a quiet against the massive limestone blocks of the inner wall. Athletic workers lean forward with relentless determination. Callous hands grip polished handles as the heavy battering ram swings in perfect rhythm. Golden hour light bathes the scene while the synchronized timber crashes against ancient. Through fractured archways of the Western District, desperate civilians execute a final exodus. Heavy wool cloaks trail behind as survivors grip tightly to cloth bundles containing their last possessions. Cinematic shadows stretch across ruined masonry while they step over Early summer heat rises from the charred courtyards of the upper city. Roman centurions march through smoldering ruins, polished bronze armor reflecting the afternoon glare. Iron batons rest firmly in commanding hands as they advance as a single force. systematically securing. On the highest terraces of the Temple Mount, dry winds snap heavy linen tunics. Zealot commanders stand shoulder to shoulder, white-knuckled grips tightening around curved swords. Golden hour light washes over determined faces as they maintain perfect discipline, a living wall of resolve. Through the charred colonnades of the inner sanctuary, Roman legionaries step across cracked marble floors. Intricate bronze armor catches the warm light as they advance in synchronized formation. Heavy shields are gripped firmly while eyes lock onto the inner halls, a disciplined wave of Beneath the heavy wooden doors of the vaulted altar chambers, the final defenders hold their ground. Weathered wool cloaks drape over shoulders as calloused hands grip iron-tipped spears. Chiaroscuro lighting carves dramatic contrasts across rough. On the elevated platform overlooking the ruined temple, mid-autumn winds sweep across polished bronze armor. Roman command staff stand with quiet authority, mature faces etched with the weight of victory. Bronze batons rest firmly in hand as they observe along the ancient processional road leading eastward, late autumn shadows stretch across the barren landscape. Jewish survivors and captives move forward with steady determination, heavy wool cloaks trailing behind them. Rough wooden staffs are gripped firmly as they step over dust in perfect unison. A quiet